Good afternoon, everyone. So happy that you're here to join us. This is one of the great benefits of being in our 2026 Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation group that you get to hear from time to time, every week or two, from a selected expert speaker. And today we have Melissa Henig. She is a clinical herbalist. She's a dear friend of mine, and she's just absolutely amazing. She's an amazing health coach and has helped a lot of people through the ultimate lifestyle transformation and to have success with it. And Melissa's going to come on and share a little bit about her background and then delve into some of the herbs in the products, especially a couple of our specific products. So, Melissa, welcome. We're so happy to have you here today and thank you for doing this for us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. My name's Melissa Henig, and I live in Sedona, Arizona, in the desert. I'm an herbalist. I'm always out foraging different wild plants, and I've taken some really deep mentorship on the plants right in this area, which is cool. Oftentimes, the medicine that we need is right out our door. And I've also been teaching health and wellness for almost 2 decades. I'm a wife, a mother. I've got an 8-year-old son. I had him at 40, so I'm almost 48 years old. And I'm just kind of in the right with everybody that's here for the perimenopause. I'm right in it with you and excited to share all the things that are so supportive and so supporting me and all of my clients. And so thanks for being here. Okay, I don't have the Canva deck, but I've got some notes just in case, because this is what I do best is just talk. I want to start with two women in my life. And so I come at perimenopause and the menopause all natural. I'm not on anything, any hormones or peptides or anything. So I want to just tell a little bit of my background and why I love this natural approach. And it's what I'm used to, it's what I see, it's my culture, it's what I know. So my mom, she's the number one. She's 74, lives here with me on my land, and she plays pickleball for hours every day. She rides her mountain bike. She even built out a little van to drive around because she's a little gypsy and sleep in it. And she's never been on medications, no hormones, nothing. She wakes up feeling like $1 million every day at 74. So that's what I see. But here's the best part. When I was a kid, I'd open up to the cabinet to grab a glass, and guess what the whole cabinet was? Supplements and herbs. Maybe they weren't the best supplements because, as we know with Purium, we want whole food molecules. They could have been some isolates that could be hard on the liver, but still, that to this day, there's something to that. She was really into her supplements. So the other woman I want to mention that is my mentor is her name's Feather Jones. She's 76. Her hair is so much longer than mine. It's down to her butt. It's thick. She has no gray. She teaches these herbal classes still. I'm her student. And her mental acuity, she just is like knows it at 76. Another woman that I look up to that is my teacher that is fully supported with foods and herbs and nothing else coming in. So that's what I go towards, and that's what I see, and that's what I know, and that's where I come from. My mom was giving carrot juice to the neighbors as a child, so I'm very blessed with that upbringing. And I know we didn't all come from that, but wherever you're at, you can always start right now. And I know that I think everybody here is on the program on the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. That's the fundamental piece. So I'm trained in herbalism. The man is named Michael Moore. He's a grandfather herbalist here in the desert, and I'm kind of like a grandchild of his training. And he always told us that it's so important to take the fundamental piece, which is the ULT, and we're all on that. And then we take the herbs, and they're going to go like this and meet us halfway. If we're eating McDonald's 3 times a day and we take the herbs I'm going to talk about, it's not going to do much. But we got that piece covered, which is so awesome. So now we're going to take these herbs, and they're just going to be so much more supportive for this season of life. So if I'm 48, I don't know how old everybody is, but it's so perimenopause is the 10 years. It could be 10 years leading up to the pause where the menstruation just stops. That's the pause. And then you go into menopause and then postmenopausal. But a lot of people aren't talking about this transition leading up to it. This is a really important piece because this is things are changing. All the hormones are rapidly declining. The ovarian function is declining. All the sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, it's all declining right now. So we want to support it so that during this transition, that which can be uncomfortable, a lot of change, transitions, rite of passage, it's uncomfortable. It's not always the easiest thing to go through. And that's why we need support during it. I would never say to go through this alone. That's why the plant allies are our friends here and the nutrition. So in this phase right now, some of the symptoms I noticed about 46 was irritability, a little bit of insomnia. People have the weight gain, the brain fog. These symptoms come up, anxiety, depression. There's things are changing. Things are all recalibrating right now in our body. And so I got on the program and I'm taking these herbs, and now I don't have any of the symptoms. Oh, and fatigue could be one. Got tons of energy. So I'm really grateful. So the first piece you guys know about, you are all on this, is the micronutrients that are so important. They give us life and vitality and energy. And that the one piece that's so important is making sure all the nutrient requirements are met. It takes 24 nutrients to actually create and manufacture any hormones. So we really want to make sure, and we all are, we're getting these nutrients in, because most times I find with my clients, they're either nutrient deficient or they're toxic. Those two things, we fix those with the ULT. And so the nutrient requirements are fully met is really important. And then so I see through all these years and decades of doing this that everyone has different pillars of health. Some health coaches have five, some have 11, so I like to go with five, my simple ones. What we're on right now, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, literally covers four of the health pillars. It's amazing. So my main one, is diet and nourishment. We got that. My other pillar is detox. We want to make sure we're fully cleansed, our blood is pure, all of our detox pathways are open. We got that. We got that with the greens. They're purifying the blood. They're also the beta glucans in the oats, are actually binding to the PFAs and the microplastics. So we're gently detoxifying here. So we got that pillar. And then we got the sleep pillar because of the tart cherry juice, which is the natural melatonin, and also the amino acids, which has the precursors to the melatonin. And so the tryptophan and the L-phenylaline in there help us sleep. Okay, so we got three of them covered. And then exercise. I don't know about you guys, but I personally was missing the heavier lifting. I move my body every day. That's a huge pillar. But the lifting, I just started going to the gym and lifting a couple weeks. Big game changer. Highly encouraged to please just lift heavier weights for the bone density. And then my last pillar is stress. Whatever we can do to de-stress, because it causes so much inflammation in the body and uses up so many nutrients so quickly. So we want to relax. Okay, so that was my beginning, is get those nutrients, which you guys are doing a great job with your 2 shakes a day. And also also for dinner, the wild caught salmon, the omega-3s are so good for joint health and brain health and skin. So, there's more to the nutrition piece that I'm probably not going to cover today. We really want to underlining any hormone imbalance is blood sugar. We want to really work on that during the day. And the shakes, everything helps. So these two herbs that we have, with Purium, the Meno-Positive and the white American ginseng, these two I take every day. I love these. I want to mention this is also really helpful this is the Be Energetic. I put all of my stuff into glass jars when I get it home and relabel it. And so the Be Energetic is also really helpful for the adrenals, because we don't want to come into this phase with our adrenals completely burnt out. We don't want to be malnourished and toxic and an adrenal burnout coming into perimenopause. We want to be, so anybody, in their 30s and early 40s, starting on all of this then is so helpful and so supportive going forward. So the Be Energetic is great too, because when the estrogen really starts to decline and the ovary function declines, the Be Energetic steps in. The adrenals step in and help produce estrogen. So this is helpful because it's adrenal support. That's one. So, and then of course there's other supplements, but we're going to focus on the herbs. This one I love because these herbs in the Meno-Positive, well, one, I love the color. Isn't it so pretty? I love this purple. I love when you pick up a product right away and it feels good and beautiful. And I appreciate that. So the Meno-Positive supports all hormone balance. There's 5 herbs in here. They work very synergistically together. They have a really nice dance. This is formulated so good. The first herb in here it's Vitex berry. I don't know if you can see these little berries. They're these tiny berries. It's kind of nice to know the herb personally. So Vitex, it's chase tree berry. And it's a tree that grows here in Sedona. It's got these beautiful purple flowers on them. In the spring, it blooms with little purple flowers. And then these little berries will come in the fall. And I keep checking and checking, going out, checking my trees till they're finally ready. And if you eat this, which it's edible, it is so peppery and strong, and your mouth is on fire. It's a very strong, like kind of peppery taste. And it's really cool to learn the medicines the herbal medicine by tasting it and feeling it and smelling it. This morning, the first thing that might pop up in your area could be mustard greens. So I went out, tasted them. They're very stimulating, warming, and hot because after winter we want to be warm. So taste your herbs, know what they look like, get to have a relationship with them. So Vitex, that is just a traditional herb used throughout for women throughout midlife for centuries. And you may know of Vitex as progesterone. It enhances progesterone. A lot of women take Vitex throughout all of their years for like balancing out if you're estrogen dominant and you bring in the progesterone, it helps to balance the estrogen dominance. And the progesterone is really important. But also, the Vitex is such a beautiful herb for hot flashes and irregular cycles that are normal, that it is natural. We're becoming the wise woman. Our cycles are ending. They're going to be a little bit irregular at the end. It's nothing to run to the doctor for. A lot of these symptoms are very normal and very natural. And I want to normalize that nothing's wrong with them. We just need some support. So I wrote down some things about the Vitex to make sure. Oh, yes, the Vitex is really good for helping reduce fibroids. These 5 herbs in here are tonic herbs. We've got nutritive herbs, tonic herbs, and then we have sedative and stimulating herbs. They're different class of herbs. All 5 herbs in here fall into the tonifying tonic category, which means they have an accumulative effect on the body. So you're going to take this every day for 2 to 3 months, and then you'll really start feeling it. Some people feel things a little sooner, could be placebo. They take one thing and oh my gosh. But really, the tonifying herbs take a little bit of time. So you don't want to give up on your plants. You want to take this 2 to 3 times a day, keep it right on your counter. I'm going to get into the other herbs, but I was just thinking, I wanted to show you that when you take it and you squeeze it once, you don't get much in there, but you have to squeeze a bunch of times. That's a full dropper. That fills it up. This tastes delicious. It's in a glycerin base, so I don't even add it to water. I just keep it right by the counter so we remember to take these. And if you're feeling symptoms, double down on the herbs. These are plants. They're plant, things from nature. They're the original hormones, the phytoestrogens. The second herb in here is called black cohosh. And that one, there was actually a study in Japan, 1988 study, and they found it to be just as effective, that herb, as the HRT. I was looking up the studies on black cohosh, and that was really impressive. That herb itself has an estrogen-like effect. It mimics estrogen in the body, so it kind of tricks the body that there's estrogen. The black cohosh really helps with bone density. What else? Black cohosh, water retention, hot flashes, the bone health, fatigue, joint pain, headaches, acts as a phytoestrogen in the body. So that's a great herb. That's a root. Then we got the berry. We got Don Quai. That's a root. I love that there's so many roots. We've got What? Oh, yeah, the ginseng is a root in here. So we've got three roots dancing together, that root energy. And so the ginseng is a little it'll bring you up a little bit more of an adaptogen to give you energy. And then the dang quai is more yin. So we got the ginseng is yang, the dang quai is yin, and they kind of dance together in this formula. And the dang quai in here, that's the third one. It always has, by the top ingredient is the most of the herbs. So Vitex is first, black cohosh, dang quai, which is a very moving herb, very warming, very moving, warms and moves the blood, which is awesome because sometimes things can get a little stagnant and cold and hypo, thyroidism, things like that. It's more of this colder, um, stagnant phase. So that Dong Quai comes in, it's warming and moving. And then we have the ginseng, white American ginseng, and then we have red clover. Red clover is very high in minerals. It's another phytoestrogen herb, and it's just so nutritive. It's really nice to have that nutritive herb in here because, like I was saying, there's the nutritive, oh, and the tonifying and the sedative. So this is the Meno-Positive, really helpful to mitigate any of the symptoms that might be coming on, like the irritability, the insomnia, the hot flashes, the estrogen dominance coming on as things are chaotic in the body. The hormones are all up and down and all over the place right now. So this is very supportive. The other one that I love, it's empty. Oh, another thing is always shake your tinctures. You want to shake everything before you use it. This one I just take swigs out of here because it tastes so good. This is the white American ginseng. There's all different kinds of ginsengs, but they all affect the body. They all affect the same way. They all affect the not exactly the same because some are warming and some are cooling. This is more cooling, but they're all going to affect every system of the bodies. They really do. They come in, they affect the HPA axis, all ginsengs. And that's really the endocrine system, that's the hormones, and they balance you. So if cortisol is high, they'll help bring down this is an adaptogenic herb. All adaptogens help bring down cortisol. Adaptogens bring balance. So if we're high, it'll ground us and calm us, and if we're low, it'll give us energy and boost us. So adaptogens are amazing, and the white American ginseng is a root, a really cute root. If you've ever seen it, they're kind of like short and they're white and they have little arms and it's a really cute little root. Some people, my herbal teacher saved them for 30 years when she used to dig up the wild white American ginseng on the East Coast. She dug them all up, wrapped them really special in these paper towels and put them in this like treasure box. And then she would show us her roots. And this is a very this white American ginseng is just almost one of the most widely used herbs. I feel like everybody's heard of Panax ginseng and ginseng as just being it's known as the fountain of youth, the rejuvenator. It really helps balance out stress in the body. A lot of stress can come at this time of life because this is the time where it's like maybe we went from right after you have a baby, I can't think of the word. You go from having the baby to perimenopause, and it's stressful. We've got jobs and entrepreneur and children, and we're cooking and cleaning. So this time of life, there's a lot on our shoulders. That's where this comes in for stress. Oh, postpartum. That's the word. Postpartum, right to perimenopause. It's happening a lot because women are having babies so much like later in life. So also this has an effect on all the hormones, which is the HPA axis. It's the fountain of youth. If you're in stress mode, it brings you to balance, very rejuvenating. It nourishes the nerves. It nourishes the nervous system. It nourishes and strengthens the thyroid, the HPA axis, and the hormones. So this is such an incredible herb and it tastes great. I don't know if anybody's already taking this. This one doesn't have a dropper. I just to take it like that. But you can put it in water. Okay, so we've got the nutrition, we've got the two Meno-Positive herbs. I told you about this one here, Be Energetic. Here's another really important one I tell everybody to take is the magnesium piece. Some people take a magnesium supplement, but this is our magnesium piece, the ionic elements. It's 40% magnesium. I don't think it tastes the best, but when you put it in a full glass of water, it's totally fine, or mask it with the tart cherry juice. And this is the magnesium piece, that the magnesium is 300 and responsible for 300 enzymatic processes in the body. That one is just so important. That's another really important piece. Vitamin D is really, really important right now for bone health and immunity. So make sure you get your sunshine. This is a holistic approach. We want to make sure all the pillars are in place, and it's really fun to stack them. So maybe you're walking, you're getting your sun, you've got your green shake. You're stacking all of these things. You've got your herbs. And if you ever feel like, because I felt this recently now, because the 46, I felt a couple things. 48, just a couple weeks ago, I was like, all right, I'm starting to feel a little irritable. Something was a little off, off. Like, what's wrong with me? And my husband's like, you're fine, but I always think, oh, something's wrong with me. Well, I was missing one of the pillars. So it's really important. There's like no exception to taking out one of the pillars. I needed the heavy lifting, and all of a sudden my energy came right back. And maybe you really need to take the herbs or the magnesium piece or get the sunshine. There's all the pillars, and it's just so, like, my herbal teacher that's 76, the really healthy one. She also drinks an herbal infusion every day. High minerals. She said for the last 10 years, it's not a choice anymore. There's not a choice. Either she does these things, or she's going to have to get an exogenous source coming in of something else, which, when we bring in an exogenous source, can sometimes turn off our own tap, our own source of producing the hormones or anything we need, manufacturing, creating hormones and vitamins. Our body can turn it off, because it's being supported by something else coming in. We're relying on something else. And are we going to rely on that, for the next 3, 4 decades? Or are we going to give our body all of these fundamental tools it needs to create what it needs on its own? Once we have everything coming in, we create the hormones and the estrogen, and everything's balanced. And that's my approach that is working so far. And I know that I haven't hit the 50 or the 51 or the 52 yet. And I know that the symptoms can ramp up as you get a little bit closer to the pause, but then it starts to really balance out again. And I'm prepared, and I'm here for the transition, for the change, to become the elder and the wise woman and the mentor. And I'm here for it all. So I